pattern remains active coast to coast. As we talked about a couple days ago, nor'easters slammed New England up to 2 feet plus of snow for many areas in western Massachusetts, throughout Vermont, New Hampshire, upstate New York. Boston proper and New York City proper, though, generally an inch or less. Real hard to do with any warm temperatures near the coast. But there's a lot of rain with this next system that hit California. Several inches of rain up and down the California coast. And of course, measuring the snow in feet in the Sierra Nevada, along with some pretty high wind gusts yesterday. 50 plus mile an hour wind gusts, even along the coastal areas, but up in some of the mountains, 97 mile per hour wind gusts was measured. So some incredible wind, just to add insult to injury. And now that system moves east. It's going to be a snowmaker from Minnesota into Wisconsin and into Ontario. We're talking heaviest snowfall probably around Lake Superior, another up to a foot for places along the North Shore and into the UP of Michigan on top of what they've seen. Less as you go south and west through the Twin Cities and back towards Sioux Falls. But then on the southern end of this same system, we're talking severe weather. So classic spring storm system. We have an enhanced risk of severe weather tomorrow right along the Texas-Oklahoma border into maybe Arkansas and northwestern Louisiana, as a cold front from that northern part of the system dives south, combining with some of that Gulf moisture that'll be trying to make its way northward. So the area we're looking for tornadoes, possibly northeastern Texas, same area for potential high wind gusts and some large hail. In fact, a hatched area, which is a higher probability of some big hail. And that area, of course, can produce some pretty large hail too. And then the focus will shift east into the Gulf, a little bit less of a risk as we head into Friday. But the other thing coming together is we've got, of course, that system, but we watch some of these upper level dynamics. So a powerful jet stream coming in behind this, that's important to create shear or turning in the atmosphere to rotate and organize those storms into severe storms. And this is the moisture. This is the system that was in California making its way across the Rockies. And in the mid layers, we look for these waves in the atmosphere, or vorticity is how we measure, because wherever we have spin in the middle of the atmosphere, that means the air is rising. So that shows us that there's lift in the atmosphere. So that's important in the middle and upper parts of the atmosphere. And then at the surface, of course, we need something going on, and it is going to be in the form of that cold front. So high temperatures tomorrow are going to start to drop in the north, and that cold air is going to be diving south. You can see it moving across the plains quickly into Texas, colliding with that warmer, more humid air that's moving north through the day today. So look at the dew points. Starting out comfortable today, but by tomorrow, you see this blue, that's those sticky dew points in the 60s, maybe even getting close to 70 by tomorrow evening, colliding with that cold front that's going to be diving south, flushing the moisture back out. So all that combined with those upper level dynamics will create the potential for some severe storms. This is looking at cold air advection, which is just a fancy way to say, where's the biggest change along that cold front? Horizontal movement of that cold air. And so the timing of that with all these things coming together is going to be important for severe storms. And then, of course, measuring the shear is important. And right along that cold front, at the peak heating of the day, we'll see a maximum of that shear. That's the mid and upper level winds moving at different speeds and direction from what's going on at the surface, and energy available for thunderstorms. So we look at that in terms of instability. How cold is it aloft compared to at the surface, combined with moisture, and we've got that maximum of some energy right along the Oklahoma-Texas border. And then we can combine that with the shear, we get a supercell index. And that, again, maximizes here in eastern Texas, southeastern Oklahoma. So timing-wise, pretty typical tomorrow. Late day, you get the peak heating, peak instability of the atmosphere. Thunderstorms start to pop right along that Oklahoma-Texas border, making their way east. This will probably form into a line of storms that could produce straight-line winds, large hail, heavy rain right through Louisiana. And then what's next? Yeah, the pattern remains active. The next round of moisture is off to the west. Good news for California is this looks less intense than the last two. And there's some things going on that's going to kind of split that thanks to another system to the north. So they may not get hit quite as hard, but we're still going to be watching, because one after another system is still in the Pacific. Whether it hits California or the Pacific Northwest still matters, because next week models are producing another storm that could be developing in the plains. So this is the time of year where we get severe weather in the south, still some snow and rain in the north. Hopefully California gets a break. Things are looking a little bit better.